Hi, this is Jonathan Keller from California Family Council. I'm here in the Washington, D.C. offices of Alliance Defending Freedom with ADF attorney Matt Bowman. Matt, thanks for joining us today.
Glad to have you, Jonathan.
I understand that this Monday, I believe it is the 25th of January, you have a very important argument dealing with the rights of pregnancy centers in California to freely advocate according to their deeply held religious beliefs. Can you talk about that case?
I can. California passed a law that, well, people have heard of laws that restrict free speech, but this is a law that forces you to say the government's message on an issue relating to abortion. So some centers under this law actually have to tell women where they can get free abortions. At a pro-life pregnancy center, they have to say this.
Wow. Well, folks, you may remember a few months ago we brought you some news about AB 775, and this is the law that unfortunately was signed by Governor Jerry Brown, but we are very grateful. Our friends at Alliance Defending Freedom have been taking point on this issue. The name of the client you're defending in this case, if I'm correct, it's NIFLA, is that right?
We've got three. We've got two centers in San Diego County area, and then we have NIFLA, which is actually a national organization, but it has 115 pro-life pregnancy centers around the state of California. And we've asked the court to block this law to say the First Amendment not only allows you to say what you want to say, but it protects you from the government forcing you to say things that the abortion industry wants you to say.
Why is it so crucial that people realize that the First Amendment protects the right to not be compelled to participate in speech you find objectionable?
Because if the government can intervene in a public dispute and pick sides and say one side is right, one side is wrong, and we're going to force the side we disagree with to recite the government's message, then there's nothing left of the freedom of speech under the First Amendment. So it's essential that the courts decide that these laws that were drafted and enacted by the abortion side of this very hostile and contentious public debate need to be enjoined in order for the First Amendment to still mean something.
Obviously, judges are not susceptible to public pressure, so at least in theory. We can't ask you out there to call them, we can't ask you to send emails, but what can people do in this case as you're preparing for these arguments on Monday, the 25th of January?
Well, people can certainly pray, and prayer is never useless. It's always helpful. We will be in court. We appreciate the prayers of the people who are listening to this, that the court and all the courts who hear this, even if it goes to the Supreme Court, will be open to the idea that all we're asking for is the ability to recite our message. We're not asking for special privileges here. This is just about the government not forcing its political enemies to essentially contradict their fundamental beliefs.
So, just as we close, I know there was a similar law like this that had been passed in, I believe, New York several years ago. As I understand it, that law was actually overturned by the courts, correct?
There were laws, and they were all passed by NARAL and the National Abortion Rights Action League. They were passed in New York, a couple of laws in Maryland, one in Texas, and all of those laws have seen courts issue injunctions, court orders saying either all of this law or part of it violates the First Amendment, and that's why all we're asking the court in San Diego to do with this California law is to once again issue an order saying, yes, the First Amendment does protect people from the government forcing it to recite a pro-abortion message.
Well, I'm encouraged by that, the fact that there is some good case law on our side, but everyone, we would ask you to please pray this Monday, January 25th, 2016. Pray for Matt as he makes those arguments. Pray for the judge. Do you have the name of the judge yet?
Yeah, it's Judge Houston is his name.
Judge Houston. So pray for Judge Houston and pray for the clients who are just seeking to allow women in California to receive accurate medical information from these free pregnancy care centers and be able to present their religious views without interference from the government. We'll certainly keep you posted as this case is progressing, but in the meantime, Matt Bowman from ADF, thank you so much for your help. God bless you.
Thank you.